How many have had? It is the second line. I can read it, but I want you to read it to the
I'm going to read it. I'm pulling it up, but keep going.
Yeah, I'm saying that look at it from that point of view. How many have had training in the last 2 years? And you know that in an emergency, because healthcare is also a vocation, skill is very, very important. So if people haven't had training in the last 2 years, and the state knows, because the document is an official state document, the state knows that many people haven't had training in the last 2 years.
This is what the report says. Most facilities offering palliative care or emergency services do not have staff who have received training in the past 2 years preceding the survey and have no guidelines for those services. It says here most.
Yes, most. So it means over 90%. Kojo, so if you were being driven to an emergency facility where most haven't had training, or more importantly, they don't have guidelines. They have no guidelines, zero. You see, and that was why when you asked me the first question, that is it a money problem or a people problem, I said 50-50. Because when you read reports like this, like I read on a daily basis because of the sort of work I do, and you see things like this, you realize that the problem is way bigger than the number of ambulances we have.
Yeah.
It is way bigger than whether we have money, and transcends into prioritization and leadership. And that for me is where our emergency system is failing. So to answer Winston's question straight, should I collapse in an emergency and I go nil, I cannot speak, how confident am I of surviving if I were to be in Ghana? I'll say less than 5%. Based on the report, based on all these things I've said.
Whoa. That's a death sentence. That's a death sentence right there.
Read the snapshot of the health harmonization report. If you go further down, when you read a report that tells you that only 5% of our consultation rooms have the full complement of diagnostic equipment to make an accurate diagnosis, aka 95% do not. You see, wow. And that is why I am saying that we need to avail our minds to the fact that this is a prioritization issue. And that is why some of us were saying in 2020, when we were doing the pomp and pageantry and dancing about ambulances, was that the ambulances were a good thing, but they were not going to solve the emergency care situation. And people didn't get it. But I now get people to go and read the health harmonization report. And you see, Coach, this is what concerns me. This report has been out since July of last year. Has it even been discussed by the press? Have they taken the report and gone to apologize? Forget about the likes of my co-panelists who are implementers. They are technocrats. They do not buy the ambulance. Have we taken this to the doorstep of the politicians, people on the Health Select Committee, the Minister of Health, Cabinet, to say, this is your terminal report from the WHO, the Global Fund, the Ghana Health Service. This is the terminal report of the emergency system you are running. What are you going to do differently? Have the journalists done that? Do Ghanaians even know reports like this exist? Do they know how dire the situation is when they read reports like? And for me, Kojo, that is the bigger question.
Yeah.